Donald Trump has spent his weekend working away in the battleground state of Pennsylvania, putting in the hard, dirty work required to be president.
Yeah, Keystone State certainly getting a lot of attention from both campaigns, but certainly from the Trump campaign this weekend, especially right now where former President Trump is actually in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, a crucial purple area of the Commonwealth, at a McDonald's.
Right. Okay, I mean, the fact that he's at a McDonald's isn't really the surprise here. You are what you eat, and if the man's bowel movements are any indication, he's about 90% garbage. But what I am slightly confused about, probably as much as the senile old tub of lard itself, is why he's at the drive-thru window.
He's there right now, and we have a little bit of footage to show you of the former president actually going up to a fryer and frying up some fries. Take a look.
We're just gonna hit our fry timer right here. Right there. Now we're waiting for that duty timer. So now when that duty timer comes up, again, hit the timer, take it out the oil slowly, give it a little shake so that we don't get stuck together, and then lower it back into the oil.
Hold on. Is that man frying French fries for a campaign stop? I mean, put the fries back in, sure, but guys, get Donald Trump out of there. His brain is clearly already fried.
Touched by a human hand. Nice and clean.
Yeah, it's not really the cleanliness of your hands I'm worried about there, big guy. It's more of the toxic microparticles leaking from your diaper.
I'm gonna give a really big one so that, look at that, they're just pouring out of it. How good is that, Margot? Here, Margot, have them.
You see that? Donald doesn't even actually know where he is here, because him saying, quote, wow, I'm gonna give a really big one, look at that, they're just pouring out of here, and how good is that, Margot? Here you go, Margot, have them, is actually just what he says to his aides when he hands them his diaper to exchange. Now, potty humor out of the way, in case it wasn't clear already, Donald Trump was not working behind the counter of a Pennsylvania McDonald's out of the goodness of his own heart, but rather out of the absolute pettiness of it.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story, so.
And let's just say, it didn't work out quite as well as he had wanted it to. So drop a like on the video, subscribe, and stick around to the end as we break down this debacle of a staged and petty campaign stop, including exposing Trump's disgusting exploitation, because not only was this McDonald's closed, but the franchise owner of this McDonald's has been fighting against raising the minimum wage for years, and it has been the site of protests in the past for working conditions.
And the reason that the former president is at this stop is because he's trying to challenge that Vice President Kamala Harris, who has said multiple times that she, as a younger person, as a college student, worked at McDonald's. Former President Trump, without evidence, has said that that is not true.
These people are a fraud, just like nobody talks about it, but Kamala never had a job at McDonald's. Her resume talks about McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's.
The Harris campaign not directly responding to this stop today, but saying that Harris worked at a McDonald's in Alameda, California in 1983.
Right. Kamala Harris grew up in a middle-class family, as maybe she is even a little too fond of reminding us at times, but that is undeniably true. And as part of the evidence of her working-class upbringing, she has said multiple times that she worked at the fast food chain during a summer while she was home from attending Howard University. And that claim has been backed up by reporting from the New York Times, where a friend of Kamala's corroborated the claim. And frankly, even if she didn't work there, I don't know what is more monumentally moronic about this situation. The fact that Donald Trump thinks it's such a good attack that he would fake working at McDonald's and waste taxpayer money to stage the interactions with Secret Service in tow, or the fact that his supporters believe, again, regardless of whether Kamala worked there or not, that a man who was handed millions of dollars from his daddy and blew it all multiple times is somehow gonna be a better president for representing the needs of middle-class American workers. But hey, I guess that is why we need to gut the education department, right? Anyways, as you probably expect, this was a completely staged and fake event.
President Trump! Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody.
So you can see right there perhaps a bit of unconventional retail politics going on in Pennsylvania right now. Former President Donald Trump wearing an apron, working that fry machine. Now, as I understand it, you see images on your screen of him actually working the drive-thru. We understand that Secret Service screened a number of the drivers beforehand that would be coming in for the drive-thru to be served by former President Donald Trump.
So first, you can see here cars rehearsing ahead of former President Trump, who is expected to be serving supporters McDonald's food, as well as this reporting from Midas Touch. where you can see that the place wasn't even open, it was all staged and faked. Here is a picture of the notice on the door that is incredibly ironic, basically stating, we plan to be closed on Sunday, October 20th, to accommodate a visit. While we are not a political organization, we proudly open our doors to everyone, and as a locally owned and operated location, this visit provides us a unique opportunity to shine a light on the positive impact of small businesses here in Feasterville. We're equally honored to share the significance of what 1 in 8 Americans have experienced, that a job at McDonald's is more than just a job. It's a pathway to critical skills, development, and meaningful career opportunities. This path to economic opportunity is especially meaningful to me. This is a location and an owner that has been fighting against the minimum wage being risen. Seen here from this article in December 2019, where it talks about a Pennsylvania senator at the time going to this location to advocate for a raise of the minimum wage. And guess who they were petitioning to make that raise? This was an effort to get owner Derek Giacomantonio to raise the wage of his employees to $15 an hour. Here are pictures of people protesting at that exact location, requesting a living wage, and them being closed to accommodate for Donald Trump. But wait, as always, there's more. Because you then had this absolute bonehead take from Matt Walsh, who's a conservative commentator. But anyway, someone posted this. After working the fryer at McDonald's, I asked Trump if he thinks the minimum wage should be raised. Well, I think it is. These people work hard, they're great, and I just saw a process that's beautiful. Complete non-answer. We totally expect that, right? Well, conservative commentator Matt Walsh said, the fact that a 78-year-old guy can perform the job up to par after being trained for 2 minutes is not exactly an argument in favor of raising the minimum wage. To which Ron Filipkowski from Midas Touch responded, the minimum wage should not be raised because Trump showed today that people who do these jobs aren't worth shit. Interesting take. Just absolutely inbred intelligence level stuff here, but that is not surprising.
It was at times a rambling speech. It was also at times a vulgar speech. Take a listen to how he decided to define Vice President Harris's experience in the Biden administration.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a Vice President.
It was truly a scattered speech, as we've come to expect from the former president over the past few weeks and final stops of this campaign. And the challenge is for that campaign is that a senior advisor tells CNN that this trip to Pennsylvania really is the beginning of that closing argument for former President Trump.
Yeah. In the last minutes of the run-up to this election, Donald Trump is focused on this type of messaging, calling Kamala a shit vice president, and going to a McDonald's to prove that she didn't work there like he said, or that he's a down-to-earth, middle-class, working American. And I'm sorry to say it, but if that is the kind of stuff that you believe in as a red-blooded Magadonian, you need your head examined. I'm done being nice about it, especially after the results of this Magadonian mass mind melting that has been happening forever now. And regardless of the outcome of this election, and honestly, especially if Donald Trump wins, which I hope he doesn't, but I will not back down from calling these people out on their utter stupidity and hate, because I know an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. But this is out of control, and I will not have their hate and stupidity utterly destroy a geopolitical experiment that I love, have wholeheartedly voted for, and have as much of a say in as those idiots. And you know what? I don't even feel bad about it anymore, because Donald Trump is out here calling them all idiots too.
And bring all our friends that want to vote for us, tell them, Jill, get your fat husband off the couch. Get that fat pig off the couch. Tell him to go and vote for Trump. He's going to save our country.
Because f*** the idea of having that represent our democracy, and if it does, f*** the idea of being silent of it. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you all in the next one.